Hawk died last month after celebrating his 72nd birthday at one of his ranches. According to state law,
this movie is about Governor Hogan. This ain't just about Governor Hogan. I had 13 movies. One was about Governor O'Malley and the machine he created. This is about Governor Hogan and mass incarceration and the corruption in the courts. It's about how the Democratic Party and the Republican Party share mass incarceration. It's Dred Scott. Blacks have no rights in which white America respects. All right. Chief Justice Towning was the justice of the Supreme Court that said that. All right. So I'm taking my case to the Supreme Court, and it's going to be about mass incarceration in the prison industry. All right. It's a jailhouse diary. All right. I turned it over. But it's about, like I say, that's the booking card. This is what was on the toilet when I came to. This was on the toilet, the face of the toilet. It's about American justice. All right. That's my booking card. That's from Illinois. All right. From 2007. So I was showing you the corruption in the courts in Illinois and in Maryland, and how you falsely incarcerate blacks, Hispanics, and poor whites. And I gave all that information to Kai Jackson, Vic Carter, WJZ, Adam May, and all of y'all. Y'all had this. Congressman Cummings had this. This is Shorty. That's me. Never Say Die. That's Ed Martello from the Ravens. That's Ozzie Newsome from the Ravens. Because I had a Shorty program. It was a reentry program for ex-felons. I used my store for the reentry program. 98 Rock knows me. You feel me? So when did I become this terrorist that y'all say, you know what I'm saying? I never terrorized anybody with anything. I'm a caterer. I'm an ex-felon. That's no more, no less. I'm an advocate. That's my store on Falls Road. And that's the Lake County Board. All right? Because I was incarcerated. Dred Scott decision comes into play. All right? I filed a $2.5 billion class action lawsuit. All right? That's what I came to town to do, file a lawsuit. The lawsuit was about your prison industry. I came to file a lawsuit about your prison industry. And y'all locked me up for doing it. Dear Lake County Board, all right? Hello, 6, all right? All right? You hear about the toilet? Yeah, the toilet is a prop for the movie. Patiently waiting. Now, while I was locked up, Maryland participated in fraud. That's my public defender. While I was locked up in Illinois, y'all took my property. And I filed an insurance claim. And that insurance claim is getting ready to get adjusted before. It should have been done before the elections, but it's getting ready to get done now. Al Retmer and Hogan is best friends, and y'all been putting this off for a while. Because this should have been rectified. This should have been done. You feel me? But you've been covering for him, so like I said, the movie about you. That's the insurance claim. All right. These are the supporters of Shorty. These are good stories about Shorty. These are the people that know Shorty. Jeff Majors, Dick Gregory, The Big Fat Morning Show. You feel me? Parliament Funkadelic, George Clinton. You feel me? These are the people that know me because I was making a documentary about race and racism, and I was doing it in a white community. I was doing it about mass incarceration, and Governor Schaefer knows about it, knew about it. It's about the murder and the death of our kids. Business development, crime and policing issues, job development. I gave you a reentry program from an ex-felon. And I used my catering business to do it. You feel me? He's from the Ravens, the original Ravens. Like I said, these are my customers. I use my business to make this happen. We're talking about racism. And they took a number to talk about it. It's talking about mass incarceration in the prison industry. You ain't had no reason to fear black people. You feel me? No reason to fear black people. All these are white people, and I'm the blackest thing in the picture. You feel me? They was talking about Shorty. You feel me? They was talking about Shorty. Everybody was talking about Shorty because it was a documentary about race and racism, how you deal with race and racism. Holding up my picture, showing who I am, showing that I'm a positive in the community. You feel me? These are the supporters of Shorty. You feel me? A positive in the community. That's Lori Penzick from Fox 45, because I used to do galas for y'all. I used to do events where I raised a lot of money for Fox 45 and different organizations. I'm a private chef and a caterer. Lori Penzick was my neighbor too. Our kids grew up together when she lived in Owings Mills. Like I said, the documentary was about race and racism. And you see all these white people? I went from Waukegan's worst to Baltimore's best. And we showed you that we can get along. I started on Falls Road, all right, at Shorty's. I started in 1997. I was in Baltimore's best more than once. And that's why I started it all, right on Owings Mills, out my apartment. That's the Baltimore Ravens. That's Philip when he was a little boy. We used to cater for the Ravens. You feel me? We catered for the Ravens. I catered for Mulatolo. I'm in Style magazine. It showed the different things and the positive I had to offer Maryland. You feel me? The families, the people, because food is a common denominator. And everybody like food. And that's one of the richest people in Baltimore. Those are my clients. You feel me? So I showed you about being black in Maryland is. You know what I'm saying? The prison industry. And I broke down the corruption in your courts. The way that you run your prison industry. The way that you incarcerate black Baltimore. This is O'Malley's crime machine. This is how he did it. This is the diary, 2/25. All right. Just call Tim Williams, WJZ. All right. Just call Tim. So that I had their numbers and I called them. You feel me? 2:26. Long night. Maryland. Planning for the Future Healthcare, a guide to Maryland's law on healthcare and decisions and forms included. I filed a complaint with Doug Gansler while I was locked up because you illegally incarcerated me. I filed a complaint with y'all. This is your information. And I had to use your information for my diary. You feel me? This is your information and this is my diary. Just call Jake. All right? That's who you should have had locked up. You feel me? Former PG County executive faces new charges. Yeah, I was charging y'all with corruption. That's what I had on that toilet. It was about a federal investigation. I just mailed off my pretrial motions, my pretrial material. Y'all refused me to defend myself. Y'all denied me the right to defend myself. Y'all forced a lawyer on me. I didn't have a lawyer until March of 2011. Y'all illegally incarcerated, moved me, transferred me, held me, and didn't do nothing about it. You feel me? Negro Mountain and Mount Garrett. Y'all had me in Mount Misery, a slave breaking camp. Just talk to Philip. Because like I said, Philip and me was making the movie. Just talk to Philip. He gave me Tanya Black's number. All right, WJZ. So I called y'all. I set y'all up. Protest at Reed's 56 years later. Yeah, we was protesting. We was protesting your incarceration. We was doing a lot of things. Like I said, I was a part of a lot of things. That's James P. O'Neill. Like I said, this is about your prison industry and mass incarceration. You feel me? And they signed this. That's why I said we can file a class action lawsuit about y'all. I had Boyce Allen. He signed this. I had inmates signing this. You feel me? Just finished the letter. Mailed it off. Should get it by Friday. Boyce Adams. All right. Had an interview with Consumer Quality Team. This was about the treatment of the inmates and the way that you treat inmates in Spring Grove Medical Hospital. You feel me? Dr. Tobin, the medication that y'all be using, the opioids you be using on the inmates. You feel me? The opioids you use on the inmates. Call the public defender's office. Told them to keep the recorded message. You feel me? I'm showing you where the public defenders work with the state's attorneys to incarcerate Black Baltimore City and Black Baltimore County. I'm showing you your legislative caucus from 2008. And I'm showing you your media that participated in it. You feel me? That was WJZ, and that's the bail bondsman. That's Governor Hogan and Mikulski. Because like I said, I'm going to show you. Like I said, this is the diary. On one side, I had to write. On the other side, I had to do something else. So we're going to go to page 50. And right here, page 50. Cell 7 needs to be in an institution. All right? His mental illness, medical drugs is not affect. You know what I'm saying? The mental health. Now that's Congressman Cummings. Congressman Cummings been knowing about this for the longest. All right, it's Congressman Cummings right there. That's a letter I wrote Congressman Cummings while I was in jail, because Congressman Cummings was asked by President Obama to investigate my illegal incarceration in Maryland, in Illinois. You feel me? That was this deep. That's this diary. That's a diary. And that's the one from Spring Grove. That's Parole and Probation Commission. I signed that. That's a movie. That's a release. But like I said, I made a complaint to Doug Gansler about y'all's treatment of inmates. And that's Adam May. Dear Adam May, we need a whole interview, the whole thing. You feel me? See the date. Like I said, I'm making a documentary about Governor Hogan and the legislative caucus. I'm showing about mass incarceration in your prison industry from the inside, like Khalif Browder. You feel me? I am Dred Scott. No, I'm Shorty. But you treat me like Dred Scott. That's Congressman Cummings' office. All right. Request for assistance dated. Additional request provided today. You feel me? I am a receipt. That's Congressman Cummings. Now, Congressman Cummings got subpoena power now. So Congressman Cummings can use his subpoena power. Because right here, October 2014, March 2015, Elijah Cummings, Frederick Road office. I went to all your offices. You feel me? Judiciary fraud. False imprisonment. You falsely imprisoned me in Illinois and in Maryland. I'm showing you Congressman Cummings' role that he plays in this. Because that's another page. I asked to testify in front of the Congressional Judiciary Committee in Washington, D.C., and Congressman Cummings has been refusing it. Elijah Cummings has been blocking a federal investigation into the courts in Baltimore County and Baltimore City. March. Bought down the material to be added to my case file. I got a case file with y'all. I got a case file with Governor Hogan, too.
He said his resounding victory is confirmation Marylanders like what he's doing and don't support President Donald Trump. 11 News lead political reporter Kate Amaro is live at the State House tonight in Annapolis. Hi, Kate.
Today, Stan and Deb, Governor Larry Hogan drew a clear, deep, firm line in the sand when it comes to President Donald Trump. In short, Hogan isn't having any of what the White House is dishing out.
I think it was a tough night. We had President Trump say the election should be about him, even though he's not on the ballot. In Maryland, that's exactly what happened. It was a repudiation of the president. This
is clearly a Republican who does not like President Donald Trump and is not afraid to say so. On the day after his historic re-election victory, Republican Governor Larry Hogan not holding back on his feelings for his fellow Republican in the White House, calling the president a drag on Republican candidates, calling him out for his social media habits.
Well, first of all, I don't really tweet, so that's the other guy you're thinking of down in Washington. It was just too much of a albatross around their neck from Washington, I think, to get them over the line.
All right, now Hogan is saying all this, but when I went down to Annapolis at this meeting today, Hogan hauled ass. Y'all got my video, my live feed when I was outside. Hogan didn't want to stop and talk to me because I wanted to confront him about this. I wanted to confront him about this. You feel me? So your Governor Hogan and Rutherford, they participate in mass incarceration in the prison industry. The opioid epidemic, why don't you send white people to jail like you sent black people to jail? Because that toilet was exposing y'all. I've been to Annapolis, and y'all going to see me in 2015. It's going to be the 2019 commitment. Y'all going to see me there, and I'm going to have this camera in your face asking you questions about mass incarceration. I'm going to be asking you questions about approaching the Supreme Court. You feel me? Commitment 2019. That's Elijah Cummings. April. And this is when I started in 2007. Senator Ben Cardin. We don't have no misunderstandings about who knew what and when. You feel me? Miss Leon. This is my whistleblower's application about racism and corruption. You feel me? Your senators, your congressmen, your people got this. Senator Cardin's got this. But that's your commitment 2018. You feel me? And Jane Miller really got this. You, Jane Miller, silence is consent. You feel me? Silence is consent. And this speaks volume. United States Senate received 9 pages. Received 32 pages. Forwards. The cover letter the mail received. A whistleblower's application. You feel me? You received mail on Friday. This is my extra material. That's the case number from Internal Affairs investigation in which you destroyed evidence. Your police department destroyed evidence. And that's Eric Holder. And that's 2015. Because like I said, I blew the whistle on y'all. I'm a whistleblower. I'm a whistleblower and Hogan don't want to address this. I'm a whistleblower and your legislative caucus don't want to address this. I'm a whistleblower and your bail bondsman industry is tied to this. And you go straight to Kyle Gilbert because he got it all. WJZ got it all. We're going to talk about voting and voters' rights and voter suppression because that's what you did. It was retaliatory prosecution because of these cases that I filed against Scott Schellenberger and the Democratic Party. It was about the property that you took from me. You illegally took from me. So this is what we're going to take to the Supreme Court. This right here. Dred Scott. It's a right to property. And you took my property. It says the entire contents of the defendant's vehicle, a 1999 Chevy Suburban truck. You feel me? Registered to Duane Davis. That's the VIN number. All right. The contents, if these contents have been destroyed or disposed of, then produce them, all right, to Jerome Joyce. My lawyer participated in this because he didn't never tell me that they destroyed the truck. He didn't tell me that they sold the truck. They did this while I was locked up. They didn't think that I was ever going to get out of jail. I fired my lawyer and defended myself. You forced the lawyer on me. You feel me? Which is a violation of my rights. If you look up State of Illinois versus Duane Davis, 1986, that's my constitutional right to defend myself. I am a precedent-setting case. So now I'm going to set the case straight again because I'm going to have Ben Cardin, I'm going to have Larry Hogan, and we're going to go to the Supreme Court on a writ of certiorari. And we're going to go just like Dred Scott. We're going to go about property. being black and white America 2018, 2019, 2020. Everything that y'all got, you're going to have to submit. Because I'm submitting this to the Supreme Court. We're going to talk about race and racism. And we're going to talk about the role that the media plays in this. Y'all thought I was crazy. I was this, I was that. No, I'm country dumb, but I'm city slick. I told you when I started this, I was an advocate. I told you when I started this to have these conversations. Now you're talking about racism. Now you're talking about the opioids. No. Incarcerate you the same way that you incarcerated crack and weed and all that. We're going to have these conversations, except we're going to settle it in court. We're going to settle it where we started it at. In 2019, you got a legislative session. The session starts in January, and it goes for 90 days. When I come down to the session, I'm giving Governor Hogan, I'm giving Michael Bush, Miller, and the Legislative Black Caucus, the Maryland Caucus, the Baltimore County and Baltimore City caucuses, I'm giving y'all a request to access the grand jury. And if you don't give me the grand jury, then I got a writ of certiorari. You're either going to give me access to the grand jury for falsely imprisoning me, or you're going to give me a writ of certiorari and we'll settle it at the Supreme Court. It don't matter to me, but that's where we are with this. I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing it to make a difference. And then I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue the media for lying to the public and participating in the fraud. That's called collusion. And the shielding law don't apply to that. It don't work on that. When you lied to the public, when you participated in it, then you got to pay that shit off. Rupert Murdoch lied out in England a couple years ago, and he had to pay off these people because he lied on these people. Well, what y'all think y'all gonna do with me? Y'all called me a terrorist. Y'all made me homeless. You incarcerated me. You kidnapped me from my family. Mental anguish, physical abuse, attempted murder, defamation of character, libelous statements. You did this, and I'm not bitter. I'm better. Because success is the best form of revenge. Making a movie about you, this is part of the movie. I got to show my journey for justice. And my journey for justice